Not again with the theme song, folks. Welcome back. It is a Tuesday night. Typically, you would be bracing for the rest of that week, that midweek hump Wednesday, but no, it is time. It is time for action. Get on in here, Rob Ryan, because our UB Bulls are in action tonight, and we are going to Athens, Ohio, where we are quite literally playing for keeps.
I mean, it's a huge game, biggest game we've had in 2 years ever since LL Cool Plays left. Midweek action doesn't get better. Ohio, biggest game of the year. Haven't won there in years. We'll get to that. But it's just a great time to be a Bull.
Seriously, it is literally a great time to be a Bull. Rob, I was at a UB press conference 6 weeks ago. Julianne Pelusi of Channel 2 asked Coach Maurice Linguist what his team's goals were for the remainder of the season. There was something that prompted it. I think it was Coach Mo said that everything we wanted to achieve was still in front of us. And Julianne asked, what were those? What were those goals? And it was qualifying for Detroit, winning a MAC championship, and becoming bowl eligible and playing in a bowl game, winning a bowl game for UB. And tonight is a huge chance to accomplish a lot of that.
And everybody laughed at him because who would have thought when you're starting 0-3 that you have a chance to get to Detroit. That's the hardest part. To get bowl eligible is the hardest part. You have 3 losses already. Who would have thought that tonight, 6 weeks later, like you said, they can pretty much solidify. Well, they'll be bowl eligible with a win, and even a win tonight also gives them probably about as good chance as they'll get so far to getting to Detroit, with now having 2 games on Detroit, Ohio, having 2 on Kent with still a game to play, having the tiebreaker against Bowling Green. A win tonight pretty much locks up what Coach Mo said 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, but seriously, don't tell those Bobcat attack forums because they are going nuts. They know that the UB Bulls have not won in Athens, Ohio, since basically the original iPhone came out, the late 2000s. So with that said, Rob, obviously, we want to change that. I was looking back. Do you know that in 2018, they actually stayed in Columbus and then drove 2 hours to the game on the night of?
I did not know that.
Well, you're hearing it here on your Bullet Points pregame show. This team stayed in Athens, Ohio last night. They're getting ready for taking care of business. Now, with that said, staying in Athens, Ohio, I do not think they got much trick-or-treating done, but we were at practice this past week, and we were able to check in and find out about some of their favorite candy.
UB football practice, and I'm not wearing hockey pads. We'll see if the team's ready for the Bobcats this Tuesday, what they're trick-or-treating for, and if there's a joker to be found on this team. Let's go Bulls. Folks, we are here with the man making it happen, Cole Snyder. Cole, this offense has been on a roll. Some would say it's similar to the Batmobile rolling down the street. Folks, I'm here at UB Stadium with Marcus Fuqua. Folks, you Batman catching up with Justin Marshall after practice today. Justin, this team is on a roll. What's the key to getting a little bit better every day? Folks, Batman here at UB practice, here with Max Michel. Max, how are we feeling here today at practice, getting ready for Ohio? I'm you, Batman, here with Jabari Gassett. JG, this team's on a roll. You're speeding down the field every which way. What's the key to success been this last month?
Key to success, we just got to execute, start fast. You know what I'm saying? Focus on our goals, focus on us, not worry about nobody else. And we've been good. You feel me? We've been striving.
Feeling amazing, feeling great. We had a great practice in, and we're just stacking the days up until Ohio.
Just finding something to get better at every day, whether that's technique stuff, whether that's scheming, or just finding something better to focus in on every day.
Talk to me about your confidence. You get that first interception. Obviously, you're on the sideline feeling good. Where is your mentality for the rest of the game?
You know, that first one was really a confidence boost. And I remember telling one of my teammates that walking off the field to go to halftime. And, you know, I didn't want to force any plays, but I was going to let them come to me. And then when the plays come your way, you got to make them.
Throughout the course of the season, we've just been getting better each week. And that's a testament to the work that we put in the offseason. And I think the O-line is really coming along, too. I think they're doing a great job. We just need to keep executing.
What is the number one candy out there?
I think I got to go, I'm pretty generic. I'll go Reese's or Hershey's.
What's the best candy out there?
The best candy out there is Twix.
What's the number one candy out there?
Number one candy, Snickers. Snickers is the number one candy. I ain't gonna lie.
I don't know why people eat Three Musketeers.
Snickers, king size Snickers though.
Give me Marty Mark. Give me a favorite candy.
Favorite candy, Twizzlers, man.
What's the ultimate candy grab on Halloween?
For me, I'm a big Sour Patch guy. Those are the best. Sour Patch.
Halloween coming up. What's that favorite candy?
Ooh, favorite Snickers. Snickers or Sour Patch Kids. You can't go wrong with either.
Amazing time at UB practice this week. Huge shout out to John Fuller and the team for allowing us to check in. But Rob, the thing that sticks out to me the most, obviously it goes without saying, winning kind of solves everything. A lot more smiles at that practice. And yeah, everyone has been talking about getting better each day all season, whether they are 0-1, 0-2, 0-3, or now 5-3. But I think on a winning streak, it's a little bit more fun to do.
Oh, I mean, and everyone, if you're having fun on a winning streak, unless your name is Elijah Moore, then you're not. But
do not get personal, Rob Ryan. This is the Bullet Points pregame show brought to you by Outlet Liquor, and we will not have your personal vendettas taken care of.
But it's fine. But it's when you're winning, how can you not be happy? You play the game to win, unless you're someone else, then you go for stats. But you play the game to win, I and team. And when you're on a winning streak, everything is fun. You go to practice, you look forward to it. You go to Saturdays now, midweek, Tuesday, Wednesdays. You're looking forward to that game because you have a chance every week. Unlike early in the year where you're starting 0-3, now outside in media they were saying that the team still has faith, but inside those practices they were not feeling the greatest.
I can tell you, it's not. There's no sugarcoating it. No, when the team was 0-3, those practices were down in the dumps. They're 5-3. These guys are fired up to get yelled at. They're loving getting better. They're loving seeing each other compete on there. There's a huge difference in vibe. I couldn't have said it better. Well there, Rob Ryan. Appreciate that. Again, we're rolling along here on the Bullet Points pregame show. UB at Ohio. UB going to Athens, trying to take care of business in a way that they have truly not done in at least 20 years, if not in the entire program's history, getting a monumental win in Ohio when it all counts the most. So let me talk to you, Rob. Obviously, the Ohio home field advantage right now is very intimidating. Like we said, UB has not won there in quite some time. With that said, what do you view as the bigger obstacle for this UB team? That initial home field advantage that Ohio is going to have, or the roster overall? Rourke, that offense?
To be honest, I think a lot of Bulls fans are going to say the home field advantage, but this team has shown that they can win on the road. They've had big road wins already this year. I'm going more for the roster. You never want to worry more about where you're playing than who you're playing. You got to always worry about who you're playing. You can't choose where you play. You can only you got to focus on the team, not the stadium you're playing in. They got some great guys. They have one of the top quarterbacks, if not the top quarterback in the MAC, in Curtis Rourke. We all know his brother who dominated UB when we can't win those. But this is not Nathan anymore. We're going in and we're beating Curtis.
Okay, I like that. But with that said, that's a great transition. I'll ask you right now. With Rourke, are you more worried about the arm or legs? It seems like the tail of the tape is you got to contain this guy.
To be honest, he has a great arm, but I'm more worried about the legs because we've seen from this UB team when there's a mobile guy, they're not the greatest at stopping them sometimes. They don't usually keep that QB spy or they're bad tackle. So you got to always worry about the arm, but I have a lot of faith in our secondary. What a huge transition from last year to this year in that secondary. All props to Coach Mo on that one. So I'm more worried about the legs just because that's what has hurt us in the past with QBs.
Okay, that's very fair. And on that note, talking about things to be worried about outside of that offense for Ohio, does the defense worry at all? It doesn't look like on paper there's much reason to.
Nah, they've let up a lot of points this year, that defense. Last few weeks they've picked it up, but nothing like where the UB defense has picked it up from where they were. I expect this one to be high scoring, and I don't think this defense is good. The UB offense is how they've been playing, minus the stretches they have every so often. I think the UB offense will be able to handle this Ohio defense.
Rob, the tail of the tape is just keep doing what you're doing. UB has been rolling. They've been getting it done every single which way. Comeback wins, strong starts, road wins, like you said. And tonight, yeah, Ohio is second in yards gained. Obviously, that UB defense is going to be tested. There's going to be points where they need to bend but not break, for sure, against this Ohio offense. But with that said, you're facing an Ohio defense that is 1 in yards allowed. They are allowing the most yards back. This is a team that at Ohio allowed 52 points to Fordham. They needed a miracle just to get out of that game. This is not your traditional Ohio, and you're worried about that MAC record? Oh, maniac. They're 3-1 in the MAC. What are you talking about? Well, guess what? Their opponents so far, combined record of 5-12. UB's opponents so far, when they don't play UB, 11-4. Okay, so the teams that they have played are not the same. And for that reason, oh, and one last thing, Bobcat attack forums, I got breaking news for you. Frank Solich ain't walking through that door. He ain't walking through that door, Mike Bunt. I'm sorry, and you know it. That's why we got our Mike Bunt, former guy on bullet points. He's predicting a 37-34 win for UB. Let's crank it up. Let's go real. It's time. UB, the lines moved a little bit. They were a favorite, a 1-point favorite, which is very telling. Again, history. These trends play more into gambling lines than anything. UB has not won in Ohio in over a decade. So the fact that they're even a favorite is a pretty big sign because the record disparity isn't that much. 4-0 versus 3-1 in conference, Rob Ryan. But with that said, UB minus 2.5. I'm asking you on the money line. Give me your prediction overall. Give me a final score for tonight. UB at Ohio.
So it's midweek action. If we've ever learned anything in the past midweek action, it's all offense. It's all gas, no brakes for these MAC offenses during midweek action. And I'm going to continue this trend just like Bun with his 37-34. He's predicting a high-score game. I'm going to predict the same thing, and I'm going 40-35 UB. We're going to cover the spread and the over. UB's coming to this game a 6-point bowl eligible, 5-0 in the MAC, and looking to really run the table after today.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, and they will be in position to do so because Ohio is no doubt the hardest game remaining on the schedule for our UB Bulls. I love the high scoring. I think that these, you know what? I like the over getting foiled though. So I like UB 31, Ohio 28 on a late touchdown for Ohio. UB gets the win on the road here. It's a hard-fought game. It's never completely over. Ohio makes it close to the end. But ultimately, UB, Coach Mo, they get it done. They take a huge lead in the MAC. They take bowl eligibility clinched in the second year, and they get ready to do some damage, Rob Ryan.
Let's go.
Let's go indeed. Folks, we are just 28 minutes away from kickoff, and here's the beauty. You don't have to go get logged into ESPN3. You don't have to check your cable provider to see if you have the CBS Sports Network. ESPN2. It's the Cole Snyder to Justin Marshall show. We're seeing all these running backs. We're seeing James Patterson showing out on national stage. By the way, we didn't even talk about that. The the potential for James Patterson playing at the next level, Rob, I think has never been higher. The discussion of that has absolutely been picking up on the fringe. So we'll see where that takes off. But folks, we can't get ahead of ourselves. It's about one thing. It is about going into Athens and shoving it up the Bobcats' ass. Let's get a big bowl win. Let's go Bulls.